Good evening. This is our continuing team coverage of the effects of Harvey, now Tropical Storm Harvey, that is taking a toll on the Texas Gulf Coast and now taking a toll on Texas in general as it reaches up into central Texas and is kind of stalled out. Joining me here tonight is Estella Choppa. She's the Chief Clinical and Nursing Executive Officer with Christus Spohn Hospital in Corpus Christi. Estella, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Matt.
Yeah, so right off the bat here, what kind of patients are y'all seeing coming in here tonight from that affected area?
Well, we've seen just a full gamut of needs. We've had a couple of patients that have come in actually between yesterday and today in labor. Also patients with both minor injuries and some with fractures, a couple of puncture wounds, and then really some more with exposures to the elements just from all the rain and the thunderstorms and the standing water.
Absolutely. How is, in regards to that, how is the hospital tonight? How is it standing?
The hospital, actually, we've done very well. We fared very well throughout the whole ordeal. Harvey kind of scared us. We always prepare. We have an opportunity to train for these things, but until it becomes a reality, it's a different story once it happens. We've been really good. Our staff has just responded with great confidence. They're really, we drill often just by the mere fact that we live in the coastal bend. We know that hurricane season is going to start and last for a good while, and so we train. But I can tell you that a lot of times it takes something like this to really make us realize that all that investment that we make is really worth doing.
Absolutely. And Ms. Choppa, how are your crews doing tonight? How is your staffing? How are they holding up tonight?
They've done very well. As many of the institutions throughout the United States, and I know that we do, we always have the training that starts way before the June 1st every year. We divide our teams into a Team A, Team B, and respond. And once we call our codes in preparation for the storm coming in our direction, we basically shelter in place and do shift work. And, our nurses, our therapists, our physicians are all just a great team, and they're a little tired, but we're getting ready to hopefully be out of the worst of it, and we will activate our next team to come in and do some relief work. We're ready to do that as well.
Absolutely. And one more quick question here for you, Estella, before we let you go. What advice would you give to folks who are coming into Christus Spohn Hospital there in Corpus Christi right now?
One of the major things is be careful as they come in. There's still a lot of road damage and things that, our great officials from the city emergency center are dealing with. And so aside from that, our hospitals are operational. We've remained operational throughout the ordeal, and we're ready to take care of the needs of our community.
Absolutely. Estella Choppa, Chief Clinical and Nursing Executive Officer with Christus Spohn Hospital in Corpus Christi. Thank you for joining us tonight. Stay safe and appreciate your service down there for the folks.
Thank you very much.
All right, we look forward to it again. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye. That was Estella Choppa, Chief Clinical and Nursing Executive Officer with Christus Spohn Hospital in Corpus Christi. They seem to be faring fairly well tonight. They're fully staffed, ready to go. Seeing a whole gambit of injuries. I find that interesting. We saw a story on CNN a little bit earlier about a lady who was in labor, and they've talked now about having at least a couple of babies being born during Tropical Storm and Hurricane Harvey. Kind of makes you wonder if they named one of them Harvey, I guess, doesn't it? Put a little light on the situation. Anyway, currently 12:03 tonight. I'm Matt Briscoe, and we are continuing our live team coverage. We'll be going to Houston here very shortly. Up in Bastrop County, Texas tonight, there is a very dire situation developing up there tonight as that city and that county is inundated with just massive amounts of rain tonight. Officials in Bastrop County, Texas are telling folks to stay off the roadway. Turn around, don't drown if you are out there, but if you don't have to be out there, don't go. There is reports of numerous high water rescues and swift water rescues and just water rescues in general going on out there in Bastrop County tonight, just a little bit to the east of Austin. Ironically, I was actually out in Bastrop County this time last week, at about midnight last week, covering the Royal Pines fire that burned about 30 acres out there. And tonight we're dealing, 1 week later, we're dealing with some massive flooding going on out there in Bastrop County. Our thoughts and prayers are definitely with them as well. County Judge Paul Pape out there declared a disaster emergency due to Harvey's impact on that county. That will allow state and federal resources and managers to come in and assist the county as they need to, if the fact is called that there's mandatory evacuations. Right now, as last we heard, it was still only voluntary evacuations for flood-prone areas, but we do know the situation out there in Bastrop County is deteriorating quite quickly tonight. Stay off the roads out there, folks, if you don't have to be. And we are preparing to go back to another news break. It's 12:05. I'm Matt Briscoe. We'll be back very shortly. This is our live continuing team coverage of Tropical Storm Harvey.